Most of what you've read about marketing in 2026 is already outdated. And the funny part is, AI wrote half of it, which no one has actually checked to see if it's true. So today, I'm cutting through the noise based on actual experience at our agency. All things I'm going to cover that are actually changing marketing in 2026 and what you can do about each one. I'm Terence. I've been running ad campaigns and building funnels for coaches, course creators, and service businesses now for over a decade. 2 million leads generated since 2014 across US, Australia, Asia, and Europe. But I've watched ad platforms come and go, algorithms flip overnight, and about 1,000 game-changing trends that turn out to be nothing. So remember when every business needed an NFT strategy or presence in the metaverse? Yeah, exactly. Even Zuckerberg fell for it. So in this video, I'm going to show you the trends that actually matter this year and what to do about each one. So let's start with the obvious one, AI. Every business owner I talk to has some AI tool running now. Chatbots that are qualifying a lead the second they opt in, AI that drafts the ad copy before your human copywriter could even boot up his computer. I mean, we have AI voice that follows up on leads at 8 p.m. when your sales team is at home watching Netflix. And, that's genuinely useful. We have built AI follow-up systems for clients that revive cold leads and book appointments. But here's where people get it twisted. They think because execution got faster, strategy got easier too. And it actually didn't. Because speed with strategy just means you get to the wrong answer faster and you make more mistakes. And you get there with more confidence than ever before because the AI tool they use, makes it look so promising, right? And a chatbot that replies in 2 seconds still needs a good sales process behind it. I mean, it can book the call, but it can't make your offer awesome. We have seen that over and over again. Client gets excited about this new AI tool, thinks it will transform his business fortunes, spends weeks implementing it, but sales remain the same. Why? Because truth is AI cannot replace good strategy thinking, an irresistible offer, a well thought out funnel, or a genuinely creative angle. Same with AI ad copy. It can write you 50 headlines by lunchtime, but what it can't do is know which underlying message is actually going to move your market. That comes from empathy. So we still see this constantly. A business runs 50 AI generated headlines all built around the same tired angle and wondering why performance is not improving. See, that's a strategy problem, not a speed problem. AI just lets them make the same mistakes 50 times faster. And the other thing is, guess what their competitors are doing out there? They too are churning out 50 headlines with AI. So everyone's ads end up sounding the same because they use the same AI. And they wonder why Meta penalizes them with all this high ad costs. So let me tell you what has worked for us. We still do a lot of the hard thinking and brainstorming, but then we use AI to help speed up our thinking. Like when we are generating 20 angles, we will sit down as a team and discuss them, and then ask Claude AI to come up with some more ideas that we might not have thought of. We evaluate them before we put them out as ads. And that has worked awesomely. And at the same time, AI has saved us a ton of time while keeping our ads sounding human. So don't fall into the trap of thinking AI can do all your marketing. We hear people cutting the whole content team with a $97 AI subscription, and then they wonder why their marketing no longer works and engagement kind of falls off a cliff. Truth is, there is still good value in great human thinking. And the second trend, this one is bigger than most people realize. AEO, and that's answer engine optimization. And in plain English, that is what people are asking ChatGPT and Perplexity questions instead of typing them into Google. Like, for example, we get people asking ChatGPT, who's a good webinar marketing agency? And then we show up. And to be honest, those leads are great because they think if AI recommended radical marketing, they must be good. But here's what's interesting. Most people hear AEO and think it's just like SEO, but it's beyond that. AEO changes something a little bit more. See, it changes what your audience already knows before they meet you. Let me give you an example, right? Say, if you ask ChatGPT how to run Facebook ads to a webinar, it will give you a genuinely decent answer for free in about 10 seconds. So if you're talking about the same topic on a 90-minute webinar and you're basically giving a longer version of that same answer, you've probably already lost. People don't pay attention to information they can already get for free. So what is the solution then? You're probably asking yourself right now. Because we saw this play out with a client of ours. His name is Owen. The first month working with Owen, we crushed his CPLs, leads were cheap, attendance was strong, but over his first few webinars, only 2 people bought his high-ticket program. One of them on a payment plan. Ouch. And we were panicking like, are we going to lose this client kind of scenario, right? So we looked at the webinar itself and the problem was clear. It was too much how-to, too much teaching, and not enough belief shifting. And if people want to get answers on how to do something, like I said, they are going to go for those nasty AI tools. So we told him to stop teaching and start shifting beliefs. We restructured the presentation, less how-to information, more belief shifting. The following webinar, he got 7 applicants and 2 people bought the high-ticket program. So in that 1 week, he got more sales than the previous 5 weeks combined. See, when information is free and instant, the only thing left to sell is a shift in how someone sees their situation. That shift needs proof that people can actually trust. See, a chatbot can hand someone a checklist. What it can't do is hand a room full of people nodding along and agreeing. It can't hand them a real result from a real client. And it can't hand them a presenter who has actually lived the thing they are talking about. That's your advantage. Use it. If you're rebuilding your own presentation with this in mind, here's the move. Go through your slides and find the section that's just step 1, step 2, step 3. Cut out a chunk of it. Replace it with the moment your prospect needs to actually believe that this result is possible for someone like them. That might come through a story. It might be also a result or case study you can point to them on the screen. And when you do use proof, make it specific, not the general stuff like a real show-up rate, a real client name, because an actual number beats a vague promise every single time. See, vague promises are exactly what a generic AI answer gives to people for free. Specific, verified proof is the one thing it can't give you. So here's the third trend. This one affects anybody running paid ads. See, Meta used to just check whether your image and copy follow the rules, but not anymore. The Andromeda AI looks at the message underneath your ad, not just the picture. So if you're running 20 variations of the same tired idea, hoping that one of them sticks, Andromeda sees straight through it. And that's where your ad performance tanks. So secondly, all the ad platforms have so much data points, they now know which message to show to who at what time. So on one hand, it makes it super easy for media buyers. But on the other hand, this makes marketers and media buyers lazy. See, not enough thinking goes through the strategy. Not enough thinking goes into the creative process. Again, it's quite simple. If you and all your competitors are prompting Claude for 20 ads, everybody is basically showing the same message and the same creatives. So with media buying, our best results have been to not give Meta complete control, because it comes up with some pretty bad creatives and copy. So wrest back control from Meta and come up with original thoughts. So here a quick word on organic as well. Organic reach keeps shrinking because feeds are now filling up with AI generated content, and it's burying all the stuff that you are posting. So you could post your best content of the year to your own followers, and most of them will sadly never even see it in the feed. And that's why I tell businesses who are serious about scaling, paid traffic isn't optional anymore. It's one of the only channels where you can still fully control, but you gotta pay for it because here you control who sees it, when they see it, and how much you're willing to pay for it. See, organic does not offer that anymore. So treat your ad budget the way you treat rent or payroll. It's not the first thing that gets cut. When cash gets tight, it should be the last. And I made this mistake before in my other business, and this is something that's another story for different time. But last trend I like to mention, most businesses generate a lead and send the exact follow-up to everyone. Whether they attended a webinar or not, or whether they took a certain action or not, same email, same message every time. In 2026, if you're still doing that, that's leaving money on the table. The businesses winning right now are segmenting by behavior. When we apply it to webinars, we call it the long tail webinar system. And here's how it works, right? When someone registers but doesn't show up, they get invited to an encore or replay, and not the same generic message that everybody else gets. If someone shows up but doesn't buy, they don't get the encore because they already sat through it. They get a sales page or video that speaks to what they actually saw at the webinar. Then everyone, whether they bought or not, gets a few pieces of content built from the webinar itself over the following days. And to take segmentation a step further, we are seeing webinar software that do mass personalization. What do I mean by that? Well, thanks to AI, now you can follow up not just by the general behavior, whether they attended the webinar or not, but by what they actually type in the chat. So if they exited the webinar at minute 41, an automated message gets generated that says, "Hey Jane, I saw you left right before Peter covered the section about the one food that can increase metabolism for women over 40. Would you like me to send you the replay?" Or if someone typed during the webinar that, "I like this" at minute 25, but they didn't buy, you could get a follow-up message saying, "Hey John, you mentioned you really liked how Altu finds you good trades. Would you be interested if you could just buy the two without the coaching?" And I see things getting more and more personalized with AI conversations, but it, again, needs to be designed by humans. And those of us who are not adopting segmentation and personalization, we are gonna lose out. Because in a world where attention is the most precious thing, personalized communication is likely to be the winner. So remember, the leads are already there. You've already paid for traffic. Generic follow-up just wastes all of it. If you don't have anything like this built yet, don't wait until it's perfect. Start by segmenting broadly, just 2 different messages. That's the whole starting point. You can get more sophisticated once that's actually running. So out of these 4, which one do you think matters most to your business right now? Is it AI, AEO, ad platforms, or follow-up using AI again? So drop it in the comments because I read everyone and I'll put the most common answer for a full video next. And if you want to go deeper on the lead gen side of this, grab my book Lead Search for free, links in the description, so go ahead. And remember, none of this means you need to panic. It means you need to start paying attention to what's actually important instead of chasing whatever's trending on your newsfeed this week. See, platforms change every year, tools change every year, but what wins stays the same. Good marketing strategy, message relevance, and a good offer delivered to where your buyers are spending their attention. So thanks for joining me on this episode, and I'll see you on the next one.